between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches.
Watch it now, Barney!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And an alley to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 33 and a first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney!
Back to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it's a 2nd down. He'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hot! Hot!
They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now they try the right side here. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And fights through 1 man. Open space inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They're going to look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
They'll look to throw here. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to. And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he will find his man on the outside. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Black 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Hot!
He'll look to throw. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Hey, we got four down. Watch number 86.
A first down carry for Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's
Green,
1st and
39.
goal.
Green, 39.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go.
Let's go.
I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 60 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And, oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll set up to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Detroit, Detroit.
They'll set up a throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Lights 43. Lights 43.
Gun, 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 gun.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check, check. 43.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to launch this thing way down, and that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Hey,
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout.
Detroit! Detroit! Watching that, Marty! Marty!
Now a handoff looking right. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Here's a give to Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man on the out route. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And running and for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Have 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
This will be taken in at the 1. And the Giants ready to come out now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Gun!
They'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. The pitch goes to Barkley, and he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now back to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. New York set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
All right, now, look at 56.
They're going to look to throw. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter with a sack many years in the making, as he has now broken the all-time career sacks record, surpassing the mark set by Hall of Famer Bruce Smith at 200. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Over!
They'll look to throw here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Check. 53 Mike. Check. 53 Mike.
Now they try the right side here. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Tight end right. Tight end right. 4 down. 4 down. Check. Check.
Watch it now.
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And this one is right through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Giants. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the ball is knocked out. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak. Late in ball game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard. Pick up, and it brings up 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Check. 53's Mike.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
I got one. 53's the mic. 53's the mic.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Hut. Hut.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And his kick here is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this run. And now here is another interception. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Finding some room at midfield. And a cutback left. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Now they try the right side here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings,
And I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, doing all sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting down while I'm on the she's a keeper. Them play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you when no, I can't show you no love. I am a boss in the cut. Mayday. Bubbles and these models it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just dripping in the sauce right now. Get a feel of my style. I'm about to lock it down. Feel like in the real life, dripping in the sauce. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Shorty oughta been my me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left, yeah, yeah. Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Up, downs, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me. Dripping all sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine. It ain't nobody gonna take my home. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked a towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, had to give them my dues. Never got to talk to it like you. I've been feeling like that for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Nah, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a lot of people this year. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, my ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your Mrs. Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get noted for words. That the world is parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are rich. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I can't but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get the know different ways. The world is parade. Yeah, we like, and none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Yeah, we like, your girl has been calling for days. I get the know different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze. Bad companies, bad for your company. Bad companies, bad for your company. In the ski mask in case you come for me. Got it in the ski mask in case you come for me. When I say I got beef, they don't want no beef. When they say they got beef, they don't wanna eat. If you said they want, they don't want no steam. She put it on it. Had a bachelor's degree, PhD while selling. Fix the face and fix the weed. Now working on the self-esteem. Hit a block, yo this flock. Where you at? Pin it. My new map location be the block.
Money, company, no, baby. I don't need no the company.
You can't
deal. You got bad. It's the same here. Bad company. Look, bro, you can't hang here. Getting money, so the keep on coming. Phone ringing, so you know the jumping. Then looking at me, he owe me some money. Hit him with the night the crumping. Why he playing games? They don't want no problems with me. My got good. I know I brought them. Might not hit a bad. Someone tell them well opposition. They move wrong. So I
Dark shades, too much. I could barely see them. Acting brand new like I don't see it when I do. Who them folks? Who want too close? Give me room, phony folks. Play it close, do the most, don't they? Bad company, that's bad for your company. Bad company, that's bad for your company. Mad cow disease, now you in a ton of beef. Tuck underneath my new blue dungarees. Flintstone bust down, color Murakami. Fruity Pebble, Basil, Wilma, Betty, Fred, and Barney. Bad from out of town, I think she model Abercrombie. Wrist game, Lucky Charmy, told my jeweler leprechaun. I'ma come clean, I got beef. Paranoia got me rolling on my sleeves, okay. Hating cause I'm upping up the fees. Whole team got these on their tees all day. I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I upped it, I'ma squeeze.
I'm above average.
Thicker the pie, thicker the bag. Meet him a buying, a lace and no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it. The is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for a doubt. She don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. Where we gon' laugh? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis really running the